Hello, everybody. It's Monday morning, and only Graham Mirmina could get me to do a Monday AM. Graham Mirmina
Goddamn right.
from WrestleRant and Bleacher Report. How are you? Good to see you. What's going on a Monday in the East Coast?
Doing excellent, Michael. I am doing well. We are fine here on the East Coast. I know I just saw you not too long ago at SummerSlam in New Jersey.
I feel like withdrawals. I feel like I haven't seen you in like several months.
That's what I was going to say, Michael. It's been 2 months, but it's been 2 months too long. I need to see you soon. We're not flying to Saudi Arabia. We need to figure something else out because we're not going to Saudi in a couple months for the Rumble, but I'm glad to see you here today.
No Saudi. I just wonder who will go to Saudi.
Oh my God. I'm sure there's going to be somebody.
I know some people will go to Saudi, which is troubling in itself. But yes, there's a lot to talk about that. Actually, I want to, before we get into, we're going to talk about WWE Crown Jewel in Perth, and we're going to talk about PWI's 500, their naming of their top 10 and what they have. But over the weekend, there were some interesting things that dropped. But first, I want to get your take. So Andrade comes back to AEW, as we saw, which was a really exciting turn of events on the pay-per-view.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what is this with Dave Meltzer? You talk too much shit without proof. And sir, I'll tell you one thing. When my contract with AEW ended, I personally went man to man to thank Mr. Tony Khan for the opportunity to be in AEW. And that's all I'll tell you. If I wanted to talk more, I would show you that you're wrong about many things, but you keep killing the business. Yo le deseo lo mejor. All right, Graham, what's your take on this? Because what's going on here with Meltzer again, and then, of course, Andrade?
So Meltzer says a lot of stuff, but quite honestly, from what I saw him say after Andrade returned to AEW last Wednesday, it didn't sound like he said a lot of inaccurate things. Now, as far as like what literally happened, because he said that when Andrade left AEW the last time, which would have been less than 2 years ago, which is important to paint that picture, that he went from in the last 4 years from WWE to AEW, back to WWE, and then back to AEW, all in less than 4 years, which is insane. Just crazy. So when he was last in AEW less than 2 years ago, Dave Meltzer made it sound like recently that when he was on his way out, he was giving Tony Khan the impression that he was staying, but then he just up and left anyway. And honestly, like Meltzer said that last week, and then he's also since said on Twitter in response to Andrade about this, he stands by that because if you look at Andrade's booking, that it is a little bit suspect that when Andrade was on his way out the last time, he was on the shows, he was winning on TV. He beat Bryan Danielson on Dynamite. They go back and look.
Right.
Yeah, he was in the Continental Classic. He was doing stuff. And that's not like Tony Khan. If you look at Tony Khan's track record with people that are leaving or on their way out or expressed interest in leaving or their contract expiring, he either doesn't use them or has them lose a lot on the way out, or we just don't see them on the show for like a friggin' year. So, I mean, I honestly believe Meltzer, but Andrade saying this stuff, it is what it is. This was also in addition to the fact that it was reported that he suffered wellness violations in WWE that went unreported until now. He didn't really dispute that. He didn't really dispute anything that Meltzer said. He just said that he was a liar or whatever. Didn't exactly argue what he was saying. So the whole situation with Andrade is just funny. I mean, I don't really see this run working out any differently than the last one, but I guess we'll see. Time will tell. He's a talented guy.
Maybe that he came back as a heel. He came back with Don Callis. It gives him a little bit of oomph instead of coming back as a baby face back to AEW. I thought that was a good move if you're going to bring him back. The thing that with this whole wellness violation and the disciplinary action, I mean, it's kind of suspect, right? Like what is going on?
What does that mean?
What does that mean? And, you know, now Charlotte doesn't have to have her ex-husband there. You know, I know I was just reminiscing back to my interview with Charlotte at SummerSlam day, and she literally talked about it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like, well, okay, well, maybe it's good that they're not in the same place. But you're right. If they don't know what to do with Andrade, he's going to go to crap anyways. Do you think there's an inherent problem with him, though? Is that what you think?
Not a major issue, but I mean, like the wellness violation is one thing. I'm sure there's plenty of other people, honestly, that have been popped for wellness violations in WWE that they don't report it anymore, that we're just unaware of, or they just don't test certain people. Like I saw a lot of people posting pictures of Brock, like, oh, clearly he's on something. Like I'm sure he is. I mean, they don't test the part-timers. I mean, I don't agree with that, but they've made that clear in the past. That's not a new thing. But with Andrade, though, there were those reports. Like, this is what I really want him to respond to and kind of explain what happened. the reports coming off his WWE departure, which was pretty abrupt, and the fact they didn't even give him a 90-day was also kind of suspect as well.
And they let him out, right? There was non-compete. They let him out. They just come back. Yeah.
They just let him out, and then he's able to appear in AEW immediately thereafter. But he was, according to one report from a reliable source, like a PW Insider, Fightful, like those are the sources people should be paying attention to. I mean, Meltzer, 50-50. But it was said that he had to be accompanied out of the building or escorted out of the building at a SmackDown taping, and then he wasn't responding to like phone calls like about coming back. He just completely ghosted. Like, how does that happen? Like, I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but with Andrade, like, it must have been a pretty bad split for them to just let him go. Like, he had not even been there for 2 years. He was factored into the plans on the show. He was teaming with Rey Fenix. He was on SmackDown pretty consistently, not as a WWE Championship challenger, but it must have been a pretty bad.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I don't know if it's a massive issue, but I mean, for AEW to just go back and pick him right up, I do agree putting him with the Don Callis family is the right role because Don Callis can serve as his mouthpiece. He's not a great talker on his own.
And he can elevate him and,
hopefully.
Hopefully, if they don't screw it up. I mean, I think that's a good place for him if you're going to do it. But it is interesting because he's so bounced around.
Yeah. It just feels like he's just not content with wherever he is. I mean, he wasn't content in WWE the first time. This most recent time when he was in NXT 10 years ago, there were reports that he wanted to leave NXT before he even became NXT champion.
Is it that is it him or they just never know what to do with him?
I think it's a little bit of both. I definitely think it's both because should he be higher on the card in WWE this most recent time? Yes. Like, for example, when he had those series of matches with Carmelo, those were amazing.
Amazing matches.
Those were great.
Right.
Amazing matches. I thought that was a great use of him and Hayes.
Right.
But then they kept the belt on LA Knight, which was fine because he was super over. If you then look at who they put the belt on next, that makes you scratch your head. Why would they put the belt on Shinsuke Nakamura in 2024, 2025 instead of someone like an Andrade?
Well, my feeling. I cannot stand Shinsuke Nakamura.
No.
I literally do not understand it at all. Like, I don't get it at all. I don't understand why he's even a contender. Like, he's just never felt like I don't get it. And they keep going back to him.
Yeah. Yeah. Thankfully, he hasn't been on the show recently. I mean, he was in backstage segments, but I agree.
Back. The other news coming out was Ava Raine introduced her girlfriend, Tatiana Dumas, at the Smashing Machine premiere, which was interesting only because, this is so reminiscent to me of Triple H and Stephanie. Like, here, the boss and the wrestler. I mean, that's what I saw go on between Stephanie when she was the boss and Triple H was the wrestler.
Yeah.
And now they're together. What do you think of this? I'm not surprised by this, but what do you think this means for Tatiana Dumas? Do you think she's going to get a bigger push now? Like, what does this kind of mean?
I guess we'll see. I mean, for those that are unfamiliar, I recognize the name there for a second, but I forgot who it was. She's from LFG. Yeah. So, I mean, if you watch, she's on the second season of the show, but I feel like she was more prominently featured on the first season. I didn't know that before that news broke.
I didn't either. I thought it was interesting that it broke this way. I'm going to the red carpet.
Yeah.
My dad's premiere of Smashing Machine.
Mm-hmm.
I'm bringing my girlfriend, and she happens to be a wrestler, and she's in NXT, right? She's in NXT.
It must have been a new thing. I mean, Dumas has not worked there for more than a year. I mean, they started filming that show around this time, maybe late last year. So they definitely are a newer couple. I mean, we'll see. I mean, she didn't win LFG either time. She hasn't really been a standout on the show from the episodes. I've seen the entire show. I didn't watch the most recent finale yesterday. I'm going to watch that later. But she didn't win that. I know that she didn't win the second season or the first season.
To see.
Yeah.
Does she?
I mean, she'll probably stick around. I mean, I don't know if I would keep her around personally because she's not really a standout at all. But if she's with her, then she might. I guess we'll see. If she pops up on NXT next week as or not, maybe not next.
She's now the champ on NXT.
Yeah, no, exactly. Then that might be something to keep an eye out for. Like, okay, what's going on here? But maybe they, because after a certain point, regardless of who you're dating, married to, you got to let go of someone if it's not working out. Now, granted, it hasn't even been an entire year yet for her, but I'm just going off of what I've seen of her on the show. There are at least 10 other people that I would push and put on NXT television before I would push her. So I guess we'll see.
And that's my point. That's no slight to anybody. I'm just saying, when something like this happens and there's a relationship with somebody who's running it or an important person backstage, it kind of changes the dynamic. It just does. And I'm wondering what will happen. Did you see? I have not seen the Smashing Machine yet. Have you?
Not yet. I have it on my list. I was at Alexis's musical this week, as we were just talking about, so I hadn't seen it yet. I'm probably going to go see it tomorrow. I've heard good things. I heard it did not make much money at all, but I mean,
I think it did not make money at all because Taylor Swift did Life of a Showgirl this weekend. And
okay, yeah,
just like came out, and then so there's, but it's not doing great at the box office compared to his
of course
action things. But I'm interested to know if it will be a flash in the pan or he ends up at award season getting nominated.
I mean, I hope he is. Like I said, I mean, I haven't seen the movie.
That'd be amazing. And breaking the glass ceiling for a former wrestler or wrestler.
Yeah. I mean, especially for him specifically, who I mean, it's not like he was typecast. He wanted to do movies like Red One and Jumanji and all this other stuff. Like, he wanted to do it because it was a formula that worked. Why, honestly, would he do anything different if he's doing these big action movies that cost a lot of money, but they're making a lot of money? They're not necessarily great movies, but they're good popcorn flicks and whatever. And it worked for 10, 15 years. And then it didn't work all of a sudden until it didn't work. Well, like with Red One, they didn't even come close to making their budget back. So then he pivoted in classic rock fashion, as WWE did with him and Cody Rhodes last year and Roman Reigns. He pivoted, did a serious role instead. And from what I understand, it ended up working out really well and ended up, I've heard it got great reviews. So I'm going to go see it myself tomorrow. We'll see. But I hope he does more movies like this because I've heard positive things. Yeah.
I think that's what he wants to do.
If it keeps him away from the WWE Championship, I'll go see. I'll go see 10 times.
I'm all for it. I'll keep it. So we are going to talk about. Let's talk about first before we get into. We'll do PWI on our back half, but it is Crown Jewel Perth. I feel like we just had a PLE.
I know, so seriously,
record pace, and they get thrown together. We got John Cena and AJ Styles. This is all happening this coming weekend, Saturday, October 11th, 8 Eastern, 5 a.m. Pacific time.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
So guess what that means for me? If I want to watch it live, 5 a.m. Pacific time. Yours is 8 a.m. Yours is
a little bit better. A little bit better, yeah.
So bad. Will you watch it at the time it's on?
Probably not. I didn't watch it live last time. I think the last one, for whatever reason, I don't know what the exact time difference is with Australia, but I feel like when they went to Australia last year for Elimination Chamber, I think it started like 5 a.m. here last year.
Oh, you went to Elimination Chamber?
No. I'm just saying, like, as far as I remember it starting at 5. I'm like, I'm not fucking watching it at 5 o'clock in the morning, but like that would have been started at 2 o'clock in the morning for you, which is insane. It's better this time, but also, I'll ask you this too, because it's on ESPN now. Did you have a good experience watching WrestlePalooza on ESPN? Because for me, it was kind of like I was watching it, but I was also out, so I couldn't watch it like live. So I just watched it on the app after the fact, which was fine. But watching it live was kind of you could start it back from the beginning. It's a weird thing.
I watched it. Actually, what happened to me, I had AEW.
Right.
So this was going on. I had AEW on my television screen, on my screen. And it was still going on. So on my computer, I went to the ESPN and streamed. So I ended up watching it just on my computer.
Yeah. And it worked out.
It worked out. I mean, everybody that I've spoken to did not like WrestlePalooza.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it was just an underwhelming card.
Yeah. I would agree. I thought the show was fine. I think their biggest issue was that they hyped it up to be this game-changing, new era arriving event, but it really wasn't. Cena and Brock was a complete waste of time. The rest of the show.
That was the move that literally set the tone for trashing the show.
Yeah. No, it really was. That was really all that got people talking coming out of it. I thought the main event was good. I thought the mixed tag was great. I love Stephanie and Io. It was a good show. I enjoyed most of it, but it wasn't an important show.
I love the mixed tag, and I like Stephanie and Io. I did not like Cody Drew, and I didn't like the end with like nothing happened. Cody walked out, I'm the champ. Didn't like that. And I didn't like Cena Brock, especially because is the point that you had all the kids come out with him, and it's this big thing, and now guess what, kids, you're gonna watch him get annihilated.
How evil.
And that leaves us with 5 appearances only. And I don't care about this match. How do you feel about AJ versus John? It's kind of like, why are they doing this? Because John wanted it?
Yeah, well, I mean, I exclusively care about it because I love their first feud,
I know.
close to a decade ago. I mean, is this the same John Cena from 2016, 2017? Far from it. It's not even the same AJ Styles. They're both 10 years older, closer to 50. It's not going to be the same type of match. I'm just happy they're doing it because it looked like there was a period where they weren't going to do it because they had other plans for Cena or they were going to run back Cena and Brock, which would have been just fucking awful. I just had no interest in that at all. And there's still a few other appearances left. It is tough though because Cena only has a few appearances left. 2 Raws, which are back to back, none this month.
Right. So wait, just to say, we have 5 left, right? 1 is Perth.
Yes.
2 Raws.
Not Elimination. Survivor Series is the 4th
Survivor
one.
Series, and then Washington.
Yeah, it is Saturday night's main event. Yeah, exactly. So that's it. He's done with SmackDown. So there's no hype or build for this match. And I don't know what they're going to do tonight on Raw. Video package, I guess. I don't know. So
I don't know. It's weird. And
it's random. I'm just glad we're getting the match. So.
I'm glad the match will be great, hopefully, because it's AJ's great. It should be great. But it's kind of like, I guess it's just going to be, the last time ever in Australia, John Cena, and everybody goes crazy, which has always been moving. Like, all of these entrances have been amazing, and the crowd that's the best part of the tour.
Oh,
like,
yeah, I agree.
I mean, I'm such a sucker, dumb shit. I keep buying the T-shirts. So now I like the Indianapolis one, so I just sent away from it. Like, I've never been this big Cena fan.
That's so funny.
That wasn't my guy.
Yeah, no, me either.
Now I've got 3 Cena farewell tour shirts. I don't know how.
That's hilarious. I mean, especially since we've been there for a few of them too. Like, I mean, Rumble, Mania, SummerSlam, those ones. Like, I want to get one. I passed on those because I'm waiting to get one. I thought his last match was going to be in Boston. Obviously, it's not. He's going to Boston.
Can we talk about that? Like, I was all set to come visit you in Connecticut. I would go to Boston.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to do.
I know. And then they switched it up.
We have to go to DC.
And there's no reason for it to be in DC. It's not like he had his first match there. There's no historical significance. Yeah, that pisses me off. I mean, just bias-wise, I wish he was in Boston. I'm glad he's still going. I mean, it would have been crazy if he didn't have a last appearance in Boston. But he's going to be there for a Raw next month. I hope he wrestles on the show, wrestles an impromptu match or something.
Are you going to go to Boston then?
I'm definitely going to go to that show. So I was kind of like waiting. I saw him in Springfield last month. I went to that show at the very last minute, and that was cool. Yeah, I was at that show, and that was cool to see him there. So I'm hoping to go to Boston. I almost got the shirt in Springfield. I'm like, I feel like the Boston one's going to be cool because it might be like Celtics colors, logo, whatever. So I'm going to get that one.
Well, I like the Indianapolis one, so I got it since none of my colors are like.
Yeah.
There's not an LA one, so
I think there is.
Where was
now you're going to buy a 4th shirt. I have to look for it.
I can't have 4. Okay. Edge. I'm going to talk about this.
Yep.
I still think this is possible. So after I saw what happened, but then I realized he went to film a movie. I thought Adam Copeland was saying, I'm leaving. Beth is hurt. I got to go. And I thought everyone was going to get their wish. And for one night only, he would come back at the last match and wrestle John, which would be what everybody I think wants from what I'm hearing. But now I'm hearing he's filming a movie. So is that not possible?
Oh yeah, no, that's not happening. And it's just funny how everyone immediately thought that. I knew it wasn't happening because AEW would never loan him for just one match. I don't think. I mean, maybe we'll get that at some point down the road. I don't think we're anywhere near that right now, just given the relationship.
What if it turns out that they did? What would you say?
I would be like, I'm so happy to have been wrong. I think that's awesome. I think that opens the doors for a lot of other possibilities. I just don't know. It's funny because historically WWE doesn't play well with others, but we see them working now they bought AAA. I mean, I guess that kind of proves that point that they don't work well, that they just buy their competition. But like TNA, yeah, I mean, they didn't buy TNA. They're working with TNA. We're getting an Invasion show tomorrow night. So I think that's pretty cool. AEW is a much bigger threat. So that's why I just don't see it happening. But if it happens down the road, I think that's the last real big shocking thing that we haven't really seen yet.
That's what I literally thought when he did that at first in my head. I'm like, because that's all, every time I do a show, it's like, I want Edge. We want Edge. Because that was one of his greatest rivals, right?
No, yeah.
Rival,
and
right?
he's still wrestling too, yeah. So
they can both go out with bad necks and bad backs and like,
yeah.
But I thought that was great. All right, so let's discuss this. This should have been so. I would love this match in any other scenario, but this doesn't end up meaning anything because the titles aren't really up. It's just to win the crown, right?
Yeah.
Crown jewel. So I think it's confusing for people because I would love it to have one. I just wish they would do one unified champ for a while, but they'll never do it. But Seth, Cody, what are your thoughts?
I mean, the biggest issue with the match is exactly what you said. The whole I'm battling for bragging rights and this stupid ass ring and belt that don't mean anything. I don't care about that. But I will give them credit though. I feel like they have done what they can to make the match matter by playing off their previous history. Like Cody and Gunther last year, we knew it was going to be a great match, and it was. But as a build, I don't really remember much about it because there was no history there. I mean, they were in the Rumble the last two a couple times. That's about it. At least with Cody and Rollins, though, Rollins has never beaten Cody. So that's the story. It's playing mind games with Seth. Cody's been getting into his head. You have the vision element now. So honestly, I've been really liking the build for this match. And I think the match itself should be great if they kind of leave the interference to a minimum and they just go out there and have this great match. So I'm digging the match. I think Rollins will win, but honestly, I think I would just have Cody win and remain undefeated against Rollins to tell a longer story there. So when they inevitably have Cody go heel, you can have Rollins beat him at that point, and it'll mean that much more. To have him beat it at Crown Jewel when there's really nothing on the line, not that it would be a waste, but I feel like you could do it down the road when it would mean more. So I think Rollins wins here, but I think the match should be great regardless. I would prefer Cody, but it's kind of a win-win either way.
Okay, so big thing. There was the controversy that Paul Heyman was telling him, don't go back to the ring, which they're saying is dissension among the ranks that he's not fine with, which I would love because I cannot stand Seth in this vision thing.
Yeah, I know. We had the discussion, over SummerSlam weekend.
Funny enough, I have to tell you something that because I loved babyface Seth. I liked babyface Seth.
Yeah.
But I went to my gym and there's a trainer there I met the other day. And he knows that I'm a wrestling guy. And he's like, I said, Seth was my guy. He goes, yeah, babyface Seth. I hate this guy.
So now there's two people.
Like, I don't know. Like, I don't like the vision thing. And I don't know what Paul Heyman is. I wanted Paul and just him. I don't really want all this interference. I feel like Seth wants to do it on his own if you believe the story, unless he's faking everything again, like he faked the knee, the injury. And I would like Seth to get the win, but I hear what you're saying. On a long story.
Well, so if Seth wins, I don't think he wins on his own. I don't think he wins clean.
No.
He beat Cody clean.
But I have a question for you. What might be interesting if they would do it is maybe he gets pissed that they interfered in the match and he didn't defeat him by himself. Or would he?
That's exactly what I'm thinking. I don't think so. I saw someone suggest this. I don't love the idea, but I could see them doing it. I mean, I don't even know if I love it or hate it. I'm not really sure, but I could see them doing what you just said, but then taking it a step further where it's not Breakker and Reed who interfere, who will probably wrestle earlier on the show anyway, with Roman and Punk. I think the person who interferes, it's possible to set up their involvement in War Games, could be Brock.
I was thinking that too. I was thinking Brock.
Just because they're playing off the whole like, oh, what's Heyman's relationship with Brock? And then Heyman might send Brock because he's desperate for Rollins to beat him. But Rollins wouldn't have said that because Rollins wants to beat him on his own because by beating Cody with Brock, it doesn't really prove anything because he's still beat him by cheating. And that could set up tension there. But then also Brock teaming with the Vision. That's at least 4 people right there, unless you had someone else. I don't think Becky will be in there, but you could have Brock and the Vision versus Roman, Punk, Cena, maybe. I could see him being in War Games. The Usos, LA Knight. I mean, not all of those people. That's it's not even, but you could pick a couple people and that could be a War Games match.
Isn't Jay turning heel?
That's the direction they want you to think they're going in. I don't think they should or will, but more of an aggressive edge would be nice.
I don't think they should turn him.
Yeah, me either. Yeah.
I'm really against that. I don't, and I also was, listening to 24/7 wrestling in my car on Saturday, which I want to talk about because we need to have a show in there because I can't listen to some of these people. Like they are just not good hosts, but that's a whole other thing.
Yeah.
But they were saying that in the setup, Roman came into Jay and said, "Go for it, be bad, do bad," and Jimmy's in the background, like he's not part of that. So are they setting up Jimmy being the odd man out again? Like, are we going back to that? And Roman and Jay are running this OTC bloodline group? Like, is that what we're going to see here? And Jay's more aggressive and just like Roman?
I hope that's what they want you to think, but I hope not, because then it's just 2020 all over again. Like, we already saw this story. That's the thing. This isn't really anything new.
And when Roman left and he had all those social media vertical reels that showed up last week, and it was like, I'm the one, it made me think like, okay, are we going backward?
I hope not.
I really don't want to go backward. I've already seen this. Yeah. And if you can't come up with anything else for Roman Reigns, that kind of really sucks. And one more thing on the Seth Rollins Cody thing, I did think it was interesting, and I didn't like the explanation. They did bring up how Seth was his shield and helped him at WrestleMania. Big story point that needed to be talked about.
Oh, absolutely.
But then Seth, like, the answer I didn't love. Was just a way to like cause conflict. I didn't love like Seth being like, I still hate you. I didn't like that.
Yeah. No, I think that's a cop-out, because I do think in storyline they were genuine friends. I mean, Rollins, if you go back and listen to any promo that he cut towards Cody, he gained respect for him through their series of matches, and they became friends. I hope the on-air explanation now, even though he said, like you said, that Rollins said, "Oh, I still hate you. I never liked you. We were never friends." I hope he's just saying that, because that's what you would say if, like, let's say you broke it off with a friend or whatever, a significant other or something like that. You would say, "Oh, I never liked you. I always thought you were ugly." You're just saying that out of hatred. You know what I'm saying? You don't actually mean that, because there was definitely a point in what you thought the opposite. So I wish Cody had said that to make that clear to people, so it wasn't established that he always hated him, because he definitely didn't.
History. I mean, Seth came in breaking his knees and all screwed up and saved Cody. Like, why is that now? Like, I hate you.
Yeah. Oh, I never not hated you. No, that's a lie. And Cody hopefully will go back to that and bring that up. Like the whole watch thing, like he kept the watch. I know he didn't wear the watch, but he friggin' kept it. He didn't throw it away. So, I think I'm glad they're even acknowledge any of this, because in years past, they would just move on and pretend it's like a first time ever.
That is why I think this is why I agree with you. This has got a good build. It's just, I don't love the explanation. I love that they're addressing it.
Yeah, I guess my only issue is just the timing on it, because why? Like, they're both on separate shows. We know why they want to do the whole champion to champion attraction thing. I hate the champion to champion stuff, because it means nothing.
But I know, and that's my point. This should be a huge match, but it doesn't mean anything. So it's kind of like you waste the match.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah, no, I agree. It's like last year, like Cody and Gunther, I would have saved that for down the road when it meant more. Like, they had a great match, but like you could have saved that for when they were feuding over a top championship, and it would have felt like a bigger attraction. And also, I've also said this too before, that this stuff comes at the expense of the current storylines. So Cody went from feuding with Drew for like 3 weeks, like he was off the show for a month, came back, made one appearance on SmackDown, face to face with Drew. He returned and then made another appearance, beat him clean, basically. And then they moved on. Like, they didn't even continue that. They didn't go back to it. Drew's now feuding with Fatu, which is cool. But like, what happened to Cody and Drew? They didn't really even scratch the surface of what that feud could be. And then like Rollins and Punk, I know Punk's on Raw tonight, so we'll see what's next for him. But Punk and AJ beat Becky and Rollins. I know it was AJ who tapped out Becky, but why would Punk? We'll see. Again, like I said, we'll see what he says tonight. But why would he just all of a sudden move on? That feud's not resolved either. I know we've seen that a ton over the last 2 years, but they have to at least resolve it. And you could have done Punk and Rollins Hell in a Cell on this show instead of waiting until God knows when. So, yeah, I'm not really sure what their idea is with all of this. I hate how the crown jewel stuff comes at the expense of the storylines, but I'm sure the matches will be good, though.
And then we've got this thrown together: Io Sky and Rhea Ripley versus Kairi Sane and Asuka. Thoughts on this? Do you care?
Well, I will say, actually, I do care about this, because I feel like they've told this story well, where it's been told over the span of a few months, but not too long. Like, I think Triple H's biggest issue is doing too long of storytelling, too long-term storytelling, where it takes forever.
Io's going to turn, and I don't want her to turn. That's what I'm afraid of.
Oh, I mean, maybe. I don't think so. I think it's a Rhea Io tag team, like, I mean, they're not going to stay a tag team, but I like the idea that Asuka and Kyrie have turned, and then Io has to now feud with Asuka, because I feel like that's where we're going. Unless we get a heel turn, which I would absolutely hate. I hope not. We don't need a Damage Control 2.0.
I'm worried about this whole Damage Control 2.0, and then Bailey's out of her mind. So maybe it's like, I don't know.
Maybe. Hey, listen, you never know. It would be. I would tolerate this over the idea, to go back to 2 months ago, a bit of an Easter egg here, Sami Zayn ending up with Scarlett. Which was a Michael Fairman classic.
I was going to bring this up to you. I'm like, so imagine being in the press with all these and I'm saying, I'm telling you, she's going to turn on Karrion. He's going to lie down, and everyone's like, "You are so old school. That is so old." I'm like, "What?" They're like, "That's old. That would not happen anymore." I'm like, what do you mean?
And then, sure enough, a week later, they're both gone from the company.
They're gone.
We haven't seen them since.
They're gone.
We haven't heard a peep from them since.
Great. And what's the Sami Zayn thing? Are you like? I guess he's a great worker and everyone loves him, but do you care? Like, I don't understand what is going on.
Is there a story? No, but I absolutely love it for two reasons. One, I think it's a formula that works, the whole US Open thing.
Yeah.
Two, 1.5, the matches are awesome. Every match has been great. Him and Javon Evans, I loved. I loved him and Ray Phoenix. Him and Cena had a great match.
So good.
Yeah, Javon's a star. I mean, the kid's awesome, and he's going to have a very bright future. But the biggest second reason why I like the whole US Open thing, it's the best thing going on SmackDown right now, because there's not a whole lot else to give a shit about right now on SmackDown, especially with like the women's division being shit right now. They have some good women, but we're getting Tiffany and Nia for like the 15th fucking 100th time.
When I watched SmackDown the other night, I was mortified. I've never seen every 5 minutes there's a commercial break.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, I watched that thing after the fact, so. I mean, but the commercial breaks are bad. I noticed that when Cena was on the show a month ago, they had commercial breaks like 3 times during his match. It was a long match, but the commercial break pacing was very bad.
And I heard the Raw ratings are down.
Viewership. Yeah, no, the Raw ratings, I think, are the lowest they've ever been on Netflix. I mean, I said this from the moment it happened. It's awesome that they're on Netflix. It's great for us wrestling fans. Like, it gives them more exposure. I would be shocked. I know they said they signed a 10-year deal. I would be shocked if WWE made it past 5 years with Netflix. I'm sure they have an out clause for 5 years, and Netflix is like, yeah, this isn't really worth our time. If they had a 2-year out clause, they might explore that.
I was seeing the same thing, that in 5 years, they'll be not there.
It's going to be the same thing with Fox, like with SmackDown on Fox. Oh, SmackDown's on Fox. Big deal, big deal. And then, the ratings are garbage compared to what Fox was expecting or wanted, and then they just cut bait, and then Raw's back on USA Network.
It couldn't be anything to do with the WWE PR team.
Oh, no, of course not. No, they're untouchable. They have nothing to do with anything. No, of course, they're perfect.
They're perfect. So are you looking forward to Crown Jewel? I mean, I just want to ask one thing.
Yeah.
Isn't Cody, as the undisputed champion, the biggest champion? And isn't Seth really not as big as Cody? Like, that's what the problem here is. It's not equal. It's still Cody's the number one guy.
Yeah.
Seth is the other champ on the, it's kind of like, isn't Cody, don't you want to, if I'm Seth, don't I want the undisputed championship? That's the creme de la creme, not, right?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I will say I think they're treating the World Heavyweight Championship better recently because, and I love the guy, but like when Gunther was champion, it's not a Gunther issue, but he never closed any shows. Like, he was always in the middle of the show. He was like basically Intercontinental Champion again, which is fine for the IC title, but for the World Heavyweight title, he should be the focal point of the program. He was not. Jey Uso was not for the most part. It was usually always Rollins. Now, love or hate the Vision, they are the focal point on Raw right now. So if they're going to be the focal point, one of them should have the World Heavyweight Championship. So it does feel more important now that Rollins has it, to be honest, compared to when Gunther was champion. But yeah, I mean, the Cody title will always be the championship because Cody's the guy. I mean, whatever title he holds, it will be the title. So, yeah, I mean, I prefer 2 titles because when we had one championship, that was when Roman was champion for a while and he was never fucking there. And that was a whole other separate issue. But I can see what you mean. I can understand the argument.
Right. So in your mind, when does Cody turn heel?
It's so tough to say because I feel like we got closer to it this year with the way he was getting booed in that terrible Cena feud and some of the stuff he had to say and that Cena was doing and whatever. But then
When did he take the turnbuckle? He, exposed the turnbuckle. Was that with Cena? He did a couple not so.
He's done stuff like that. He did something a little bit heelish with Owens. He did it with AJ Styles last year. Cena, he may have done something. I mean, the whole Cena storyline was like he has to dig down deep and do something heelish. Otherwise, Cena's going to take advantage of him. So they told that story. It was interesting because we were both at SummerSlam. Cody got very audibly booed when he came out. Very loudly booed. Way more than I've ever heard him been booed since he came back to the company 3 years ago. But then, amazingly, because wrestling fans are fickle, at the end of the match when he won and the match was great, there really weren't any boos at all. People were happy. It was literally a change of 25 minutes, and people were like, "Yay, Cody!" after booing him 30 minutes earlier because they wanted a good match. I guess I don't know. Wrestling fans were so weird, but
so weird. They're so weird. I don't, I
can't predict them.
You can't predict them. All right, so here we go. PWI, their 35th annual PWI 500, where they rank the wrestlers, and it's a huge monstrosity of a list, but it's like what we all look forward to every year to see where they're ranked. Now, just to go into this, let's make this clear. The evaluation period was August 1st, 2024 to July 31st, 2025. This reminds me of the Grammys because they cut off at like September.
Yeah.
It's not like a full calendar year. It's like this.
It's weird. Yeah.
Weird. Okay. So they're judged on in-ring achievement, win-loss records, influence, visibility and prestige, technical ability, quality of moves matches, competition, success against the most varied and highest quality opponents, activity, minimum 10 singles non-tag matches total, or barring the 6 such matches in separate months. The committee, additional blah, 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 special things. So what do you think about the way this is evaluated? Have you ever been part of this?
No, I've never been part of it. I mean, for anyone that like freaks out over it, it's like, I mean, exactly what you said there from the criteria. It's always ever kayfabe. Like if it was best matches, Will Ospreay would be number 1 every single year. And like half of the New Japan roster and AEW would, I mean, no one from WWE would even crack the top 25. It's all like, oh, this person won most of their matches. They're number 1. I mean, that's what it is. I get it. That's what it was when they started doing it in the 80s or whatever. If it's the 35th annual or around there. They must have been doing this since at least the early 90s. So that's just what it was back then. The business has changed. I would probably change the criteria, but they probably just want to keep it what it is. So I get it.
You have to remember when we're talking, it's August of a year ago.
Yep.
And just to not even up to SummerSlam.
Yeah, so you got to include, exactly. You have to include all of that, not necessarily what's going on right now or the calendar year 2025 or the calendar year of 2024. It's specifically that 1 year period. So you have to remember what certain people were doing in that 1 year period.
All right. So let me ask you this. Do you want to go from 10 to 1 or 1 to 10?
Oh, let's go 10 to 1.
10 to 1. All right. So at number 10, I don't understand, is Will Ospreay, and Mystico is number 9. I am very upset that Will Ospreay. Why is Will at 10? Last year,
as opposed to higher?
Yeah, I'd put him up higher.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, much higher. I would have him top few.
So in that period,
was his crap?
He was the international champion, I think, for like a month or two before he lost it to Takeshita.
Yeah.
Like he won other matches. He won his feud with Kyle Fletcher. He won most of his matches. So, I mean, it wasn't really a win thing. It wasn't that. I guess it just wasn't like he didn't hold as many important championships. Like he hasn't been a champion all year, I don't think. I think that's the biggest thing. Like he beat Fletcher in a steel cage. He didn't challenge for the world championship. I forgot what else he did, but I think that's why. I mean, again, if we're going off of best part of the shows and in-ring ability, he would be 0 because, I mean, he would be untouchable.
I would have him at 1. So, yeah. Clearly, so I'm disappointed by this, even though he didn't have a massive championship. But also, I didn't think AEW, I was very confused how they never really put the big title on him yet. It's kind of been dragging on. And then Mystico, I mean, he's been in this since 2005.
Yeah, no, he's been in and out, which is crazy. I'm looking at the numbers from the picture that you posted. I mean, Ospreay, it's weird because he was number 3 last year. So what did he do?
Why did he go down to 10? Like that's
Yeah, that's a big. I don't even remember what he did in the last year though. Like, it's not like he was IWGP World Champion. He just showed up in AEW. I don't know. That's a little weird to me. But with Mystico,
who's now last year was 10 and this year he's 9.
I mean, if you look back a little bit there, it says in 2020 he was 253. I mean, he really dropped down. I mean, that was when he was. I think this Mystico, for those curious, is the original Sin Cara when he debuted in WWE like well over 10 years ago, and then he was there for a little bit, and then they replaced him. Sin Cara was there for a lot longer than Mystico was. They just put someone else under the mask. But then he went back to Mexico, and he's been killing it. So the 9 for Mystico makes sense because he's still super over. Anytime he's in AEW.
I'm not fine with Will being that low. If you're talking about quality of matches and moves, which are one of their criteria, how do you put Will at 10? I mean, it clearly says, it says technical ability, quality of moves, matches, and in-ring storytelling. I
don't even know if that should be on there because I don't think they go off of that. I mean, they do go off of that, but not enough. I mean, I guess my bigger question is, how is he 3 last year, but then 10 this year? That's just strange.
I don't know. And what about this? So Swerve is 7 and Seth is 8. But I guess all Seth's stuff happened at SummerSlam. So do we agree with this?
Yeah, well, I'm trying to think. Seth has had a very good last year, but he won the World Championship back at SummerSlam after this, period was over. So he'll be higher next year.
I think Seth is the worker of all workers, so I would always put him up higher. I mean, he was 4 last year, and he was 1. You can't see it here, but he was number 1 in 2023.
Yeah, because that's probably because he was World Heavyweight Champion for most of both of those periods during his last run with the title. But this past year, he's been an MVP of the show in ring-wise on Raw and on pay-per-views and stuff. So I would put him at least in the 5.
I would have him up at least up top 5. I mean, you talk about big matches, storytelling.
Won a WrestleMania, too.
Won a WrestleMania. I think this is wrong. Swerve was 2, and now he's 7. I think he had less of a story.
Yeah, I think that's because right when the period started, he had just lost the World Championship. So that's definitely a big reason why, because he had just lost the title to Danielson. And like you said, he didn't really have much of a story. He kind of bounced around a lot, did a lot of good stuff. But like he went from feuding with, I think, Bobby Lashley, who he lost to then feuding with Ricochet, who he beat on pay-per-view. He challenged Moxley for the top title and lost. And then he had to face the Bucks at All In, which they won. So he's been kind of doing a lot of random stuff and a lot of winning and losing. So, I mean, he is great. Wrestling-wise, he would probably be higher than 7. But I could see why he's slotted at 7 for this year, though.
I don't have a big problem with him. I think Seth should be higher and Ospreay, but we'll keep going and then we'll see where we'll put them. Okay. Hiroki Goto and Jey Uso at 5 and 6. I don't know why. I don't know how you can have Jey Uso higher than Seth or Will, but please. I mean, he was 17 in 2024.
Yep.
He's 6. Goto was 125.
Wow, that's a big jump. Yeah, that's crazy. I don't follow New Japan as closely. I'm sure he was world champion at one point. I don't think he is now, but he must have been at one point for him to be number 5.
I'm assuming he's a good guy because he has 2 children.
Yeah, no, he's got to be a babyface over in New Japan for him to be holding 2 kids in the picture. With Jay, I can understand it because to say that Jay is like, literally what this is saying is that he is the top 6 wrestler in the world over Rollins and Ospreay. I mean, you could get killed for an opinion like that because that makes 0 sense. Popularity wise, maybe, but in the ring, that's egregious. But I think what they're going off of here, kayfabe wise, if you think about it, in the last year, he won the Intercontinental Championship, held that for, briefly. He held it for a couple of weeks, but that was a big moment for him. He won War Games, won the Rumble, won the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania, held that for a few months. And then the last couple of months from June to August, he didn't do much. But the rest of that period, he was busy and booked and winning most of his matches and really popular too. I mean, the matches themselves weren't amazing. But I get it. I could see that. I'm glad he's not higher. I think that would be stupid, but I could see him at 6. I feel like that makes sense.
The problem I have with Jay, and I love Jay, the problem I have with Jay is I literally do not think he's great in the ring.
No, he's not. No.
Like, I just feel like he hasn't put that together.
No, and I don't think he's going to. I think he's good enough in the ring, but I don't think he's ever going to be like, nowhere near Rollins and whatever.
I just literally think Seth Rollins and Will Ospreay are probably the two best in the ring. That's what I think. But
no, I agree.
But I understand. I can see Jay Gatto. I'm not familiar with, but I guess we'll give him 5 because he has 2 kids. Okay. All right. This is interesting. Gunther at 3, Hangman Adam Page at 4. Well, first of all, I'll just say I love Adam Page. He's been always my favorite in AEW, so I'm happy with him.
Especially look at that number 42 in 2024. How does that happen?
I didn't know he was trained by Jimmy Valiant.
I didn't know that either.
Which I think is fascinating. I think he's amazing. He's always been my favorite. I'm so glad they went back to him being a baby face because I couldn't stand the other lunatic. I'm going to kill people. I don't know. No sense. And I think he's an amazing wrestler. So I think that's great. Gunther was amazing, but I don't know. I don't know if he should be 3.
I get it because, I mean, he had a lot of great matches, remember, too, but he was also booked very well because in that period, he had just won the World Heavyweight Championship. He was never the focal point of Raw, which is why, I mean, that's probably why he's not 1 or 2. He was never the focal point on that show, but he had that great match with Cody last year, Crown Jewel. He was World Heavyweight Champion for, through WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Had a lot of good matches on TV with Sami Zayn and Damian Priest. He faced a few different times for the World Championship, Finn Balor as well. And then, although he lost it, he was not off TV at all. He immediately went on to face Pat McAfee, which was, an undercard match. But honestly, I really liked that match when we got that at Backlash earlier this year. And then it was
shockingly better than I thought because I was really against it.
No, yeah, I mean, I was all for it because I thought it would be fun. It was as fun as I thought it would be because I think Pat McAfee can go. I mean, it seems stupid on paper, but they ended up making it a really fun match. And then he went back to the World Heavyweight Championship in June. So honestly, I could see Gunther being at 3. I totally get it. Page at 4, I like as well because he's been really important to that promotion.
I think that's great. I'm so excited.
Win-loss wise, I don't know what he did because he didn't win the championship until like the period was over. So, I mean, but in terms of his importance to the product, he was very high up there. So I feel like if he's 4, Ospreay should also be higher, but that's just me.
Which is, I still have Ospreay higher.
I agree.
And Seth. But I think Adam Page is great at 4. I was going to say, there had to be a moment in the booking because I was convinced that by the time they got to London or whatever, or wherever they were, or Texas at the time, I thought they were going to give it to Ospreay, but they find Page.
They definitely changed plans. They had to have. I mean, I love that they went with Page, and I think Ospreay's great too. That would have been a great moment. I think it made more sense for it to be Page though. Just with his whole character evolution and whatever. Ospreay, you can always put it on down the road. I don't know if you could have waited much longer to put the belt back on Adam Page. So I'm glad they did what they did. Ospreay, the thing with, they dodged a bullet too. I mean, I don't think this really factored into their plans because I heard when Page beat Ospreay to become number 1 contender, they went back and forth on the finish. They didn't know who was going to win back at Double or Nothing. So that's what tells me this was not set in stone. But they really dodged a bullet because Ospreay's now out indefinitely with a neck injury.
Literally out.
So imagine if he won the belt and then immediately lost. That would have been a complete waste. So I'm glad they're going to hold off on that. I think they made the right call on that front.
Okay. So they're giving number 1 again to Cody, and number 2 is Jon Moxley. I don't get Jon Moxley. Why is he at 2?
He's at 2 because he's at 2. I mean, he dominated that entire period. His matches and storylines were pretty abysmal.
Yeah,
you got to go lower than that. I'm sorry. Like, if you're really going off of quality of matches and storytelling, you said it was in the criteria. They said storytelling.
There was no storytelling. I don't even know what the Death Riders is about. Like, what's the point? I'm still a year later. Don't even know why you're together and what the problem is. I swear.
The Death Riders are garbage. I mean, they're better now.
They're better, but I don't understand. So now they're giving Wheeler Yuta a chance to like prove himself, and Daniel Garcia is now in the group, and this. But I don't understand. What's the like general like? What's the key message? Like what is it? Like we're just gonna beat up people because we're bad. Like what is the message? And
they never really explained it.
And I don't think Moxley deserves this. I just don't. Cody.
No, he had a fucking terrible
I
past
thought
year.
it was
The champion reign, I think that was one of the worst title reigns in the history of that company. For the world championship, aside from Punk holding it for a day, that reign sucked. I mean, a lot of those matches were not good. Yeah.
I couldn't wait for it to end. And it went on and on and on. What do you think of Cody at 1?
I get it because, I mean, during that period, he was WWE champion. I think he beat Solo to retain it. He beat Gunther to win the Crown Jewel Championship, whatever the fuck that means. But they had a great match last year at Crown Jewel. He also feuded with Kevin Owens. They had a whole series of matches that were great that I really enjoyed, including the ladder match that we were there for at the Rumble. The, heel turn with Cena, which was, I mean, the execution was great. The aftermath sucked. The feud was kind of lackluster, but they had that honestly, really the only blemish on Cody's record in that evaluation period was the Mania match, because that Mania match sucked and he lost.
So
but
bad.
Then he went right back to winning right afterwards, and he won King of the Ring, and then he won the belt back, which was not included here because this happened after.
Sure.
But he did win at Money in the Bank. He pinned John Cena. He won King of the Ring. I get it. I could see why he's number one for the second straight.
About Cody, I would do Cody 1, Ospreay 2, Seth 3, Paige 4.
Yeah, I could see that. I might even put Gunther above Rollins because I feel like he had a better year, but I feel like either way that would probably be the 5, though.
Yeah, and that's my 5.
Yeah.
Cody, Will, Seth, Adam Page, Gunther. That would be how I would have done it. But
I would probably even just keep Jey Uso at 6. John Moxley, although he did win a lot, he would probably have to at least be 7 because the storytelling there was so bad. I couldn't have him come anywhere near the top 3, even top 5.
I would have him not even in the. I like put him at 72.
Yeah, Death Riders are awful. I'm sorry. I don't like it at all.
And then what do we get? It's always a bloody, icky match, and I don't even like what. I don't know what. I don't have him. I really don't. Who else do you think deserves to be up here that isn't here?
Good question. In the top 10
or in the top, like who do you think? I was looking. I have my PDF here. Just to give you, if you give me a sec. Okay. So let me just tell you who's the next 10, and then you can tell me. 11 was Kazuchika Okada. 12 was Joe Henry. 13, Zack Sabre Jr. 14, Obafemi. 15, CM Punk. 16, Bandito. 17, Konosuke Takeshita. 18, Damian Priest. 19, Trick Williams. And 20, Jacob Fatu.
Yeah, I can see all of those. I would have Obafemi be higher. I mean, if we're going off of, I mean, not even just kayfabe wise, he was dominant during almost that entire period for the most part. And then second of all, he's also had a lot of great fucking matches. So I don't know why I would put him in the top 10, especially. I mean, he really should. I know NXT is not the world, like it's not Raw or SmackDown, but he's still had a much better year overall than a Jey Uso or, any of these other people. So I don't know.
LJ is here. Our LJ, our other host. Hi, love you guys. Are you? Who would you put in the top few of the PWI 500?
Not John Moxley. Please don't say John Moxley.
LJ, if you go with John Moxley, that's it.
I'm judging you if so.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that next Obafemi, I'm on the fence about. I guess the rest are pretty, okay. Trick had a big year, though, didn't he?
Yeah, he had a pretty big year. I mean, he was NXT champion for a number of months there during that period. He also won the TNA championship. So, yeah, I could see him. He should probably be higher than he was.
So who's going to be number one then next?
Let's see. I mean, based off what we've seen already, we're only 2 months into this period. But, I mean, just a prediction. I could see it being Rollins, depending on how long he's a world heavyweight champion for.
Seth ends up higher, and Paige.
Yeah, Seth will be higher. Yeah,
Seth and Paige.
Oh, and Paige. Yeah, no, Paige, Paige, Seth, Cody will probably still be in the mix because he's world champion right now. Probably will be at least remaining at this point, unless he loses. He could lose it to a heel Randy Orton. That's also possible.
Oh yeah, I wanted to say, I think Randy Orton screws up this match.
The one with Rollins?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I've seen people say that. I think they hold off on that story until either closer to Survivor Series or after. I would have no issue if he messed up this match.
I think he's got to come now because we're now in October. Survivor Series is November. It gives us a lead up. I think he comes now. Cody's going to think he's there to help him, and he's not. That's got to be. I think that's the turn. And
so you think it's an intentional turn and not like, oh, accidentally I cost you the win. Like you think he actually might attack him, like on purpose?
Yes.
I think that'd be great. I mean, I think heel Orton, I was writing about this recently, but like I think that's one of the few things that could really salvage SmackDown right now is really give it some life as heel Randy, because we haven't seen it in so long. And having a great rival in Cody could help.
Does he join the Vision?
No. Orton, I don't think so, especially if he's on SmackDown. I don't think he should.
But I'm all for, I think Orton turns, attacks Cody. Somehow there's some arrangement with Paul Heyman. I don't know. Or he does X on his own. I think he's part of it. Okay. Somebody's going to join the Vision. It's either, or like you said, could you imagine if it's Brock? Or
I mean, I don't know if he'll join the Vision, but he could be an ally or something like that.
At the Survivor Series.
Oh, yeah. No, then, yeah, definitely. Yeah. Could totally see that.
Yeah. All right, Graham. We've talked, I guess we've now figured out the way to the world.
I think we got some good ideas here, Michael. I think it's better than Sammy ended up with Scarlett. We're not going back to that. Throw that idea in the trash and keep it there, please.
After I said that, they were thrown out.
I think they fired them because of that idea. I think they heard that idea. They were like, you know what, we're going to resign these two, but that idea was...
This is bad. Yeah. All right, so we can find you at WrestleRant.
Yes. Yep. That is correct.
And what are you most looking forward to coming up then? Like what's on your John Cena's final match? Is that kind of where you're at?
I guess so. Yeah. I mean, it would have been going to his final match, but as we talked about earlier, that it's going to be in DC and not in Boston. I mean, that's not.
I just have this terrible feeling that we're all such marks that we're all going to end up in DC.
And that's how wrestling fans work, you know? I mean, that's just how it is. We complain about something we end up going.
I'm not going, and then I'm on the plane.
Exactly. That is me. Half the time, I will say, maybe with DC, definitely not with Saudi Arabia. I don't think that's going to change. I'm 99% sure I'm not going there.
You're not going to Saudi Arabia? I'm sure Denise is, I'm sure.
Yeah, there's several people within the wrestling media realm, I think, that we both know that will probably end up going.
Yes. All right. Don't when we just stick around for a minute after we hang out. Okay. All right, everybody. Thank you so much. Have a great week. Make sure to subscribe to the Michael Fairman channel for more celebrity interviews, features, special event coverage, and wrestling. All right. Take care. Bye-bye.